HARK, we are here. It is time for yet another episode of Regroup Phase. This is effectively our second episode of Twilight of the Republic previews. This will probably be a pretty quick one because there isn't much information to go on, but there is a few cool things going. On Wednesday, we had a live stream from FFG that gave us 3 extra cards, including them covering the Gencon previews that they weren't able to do on stream specifically. We were just showcase stuff through other methods and means, so they got to talk about that. Some fun information. Link to that stream in the description below. We've got some art stuff to talk about, and that's actually pretty much it this week. So let's get these previews cranked out, then some art, and then we'll get some closing words. On Wednesday, August 14th, FFG brought us a live stream talking the first Twilight of the Republic previews. We already know all that stuff from Gen Con in one of the previous videos that I covered. They went over those previews because this was the first time that they were able to talk about it on a live stream since they didn't do that at Gen Con. So there's going to be a lot of information about the design decisions and the way that things play for the starter set characters. But we have 3 brand new previews to showcase to you from that stream today, and that's going to be fun. So let's get started with this first one. We have here Prisoner of War. This is a 4-cost cunning tactic event. A friendly unit captures an enemy non-leader, non-vehicle unit. If the enemy unit costs less than the friendly unit, create 2 battle droid tokens. This is an uncommon, number 227 out of 257 in TWI. This is a fantastic card for the Separatist strategy. You do have access of being able to do things of getting a high-cost unit out that can capture your opponent's low-cost units. If you're doing this normally, you're going to be looking at 3s capturing 2s and 1s. If you're looking even mid-game for this, potentially after the turn, you are looking for a 4-cost that captures 3 or less. Given that you do have a strategy, a 3 resource move and a 4 resource move of Battle Droid Escort into Hailfire Tank, that actually gives you a lot more leeway with Prisoner of War, being able to do this on 5 resources to capture your opponent's unit that is then able to generate 2 Battle Droid tokens. The fun fact is that this Battle Droid thing is not a restriction, it is a bonus. The only restriction is non-vehicle and non-leader. You're never going to be able to capture leaders, and vehicle capture is probably going to be at a premium in these sets. Realistically, you can have any unit capture any units and not get the benefit, just so that way you know you can keep one of your opponent's big threats off the board. And another fun fact, this is cross arena. It does not specifically say it needs to be in the same arena. So you can have a space unit capture a ground unit, or a ground unit capture a space unit, and that could be handy either way. So I see this seeing a lot of play. It's not going to be as strong as something like Waylay, which returns a unit to your opponent's hand, or Spare the Target, which allows you to collect the bounties, or even Relentless Pursuit that captures a unit that is equal to or less cost and give a shield to the bounty hunter. This is basically a catch-all. Take a unit, guard it with your life. If it happens to cost less than the unit capturing it, you get battle droid tokens. And that's pretty good and pretty versatile. Next up, we have a Republic rep here. It's a clone and it's cheap. Let's check it out. We have here Jesse, hard fighting patriot, 3-cost aggression, heroism, ground units, 4 power, 4 health, Republic clone trooper, all of those relevant stats or relevant traits. Raid 1, very good. When played, an opponent creates 2 battle droid tokens, not as good. This is an uncommon, number 145 out of 257 in TWI. The idea behind this is that you're giving your opponent 2 things that they can do with, but you're hoping that Jesse's power on attack is going to be able to do more work for you than what those battle droids would be able to do for your opponent. Ideally, if you can manage those battle droids the same turn that Jesse comes out, that's going to be super good. But if not, make sure your 5 damage that you're dealing on attack the next round, or the same round if you ambush it in, is going to be viable to counteract those 2 battle droid tokens. This could be really good in super hard aggro strategies, but I don't think this is going to be a premier card in the clone deck, even though it does specifically provide synergies to clones of being a clone, being a unique character that can synergize with things like Hunter or anything that would generate clone trooper tokens and give your things coordinate. So we'll have to see how Jesse plays out. I am not high on this character, unfortunately, but people, the deck crafters are going to deck craft, right? We'll see what they come up with when Twilight of the Republic finally releases. Our last card here is likely the most relevant card in this batch, and it should be fairly interesting to see, even though it's an upgrade. We have here General's Blade. This is a 3-cost command upgrade attached to a non-vehicle unit. If attached unit is a Jedi, it gains on attack the next unit you play this phase costs 2 less. +3 power, +3 health, General's Blade, item, weapon, lightsaber. This is a rare, number 121 out of 257 in TWI. WI. Love that ATTE in the back with the clone trooper. General's Blade is your, if you can, 2 cost to drop a Jedi, 3 cost play this, and then on 4 attack in with the General's Blade to be able to give your next unit -2 cost. That allows you to play a 6 on 4 or 5 on 4, whatever the case may be, that your opponent may not necessarily be expecting. Now, this is answerable. It can be answered on the turn you play the General's Blade or the turn before you're able to attack with the General's Blade, unless you have the initiative, in which there's 1 less window. But ultimately, the game plan here is going to be making sure this sticks onto a Jedi, because it is a hefty cost, 3 cost, 3/3, same thing as the other 2 lightsabers. But its benefit is based on Jedi, not Force. Remember that. This specifically says Jedi, not Force. And you move forward with being able to reduce the cost of your things, which is kind of something that Command likes to do. Maybe not necessarily always reducing cost, but playing things for free or ramping up. General's Blade allows you to do that in a different manner of getting out more expensive units cheaper, as long as you're attacking with the General's Blade. I think this is a neat card. It's going to be very strong going forward, as long as it is able to actually do its thing. But it's even providing enough threat on the board mid to late game that your opponent is going to have to answer it, or they're just going to keep getting poked by something that's going to be doing a ton of damage and reducing the cost of your units as you play them. So, and if you can refresh a unit and attack again, oof, that's going to be pretty cheeky. So fantastic unit, excuse me, fantastic upgrade here. I'm excited to see what shenanigans we can get up to with General's Blade. Next up around the net, as we have before we really get into preview season with these sets, we have a few pieces of art here, which are all absolutely incredible. Links to these in the description below, but we're going to check these out one by one. And there's one piece of art that I'm very happy to see that is absolutely incredible. So let's jump right into it. First piece of art here, we have our battle droids. This is battle droids actually attacking Dathomir, I believe, given the red background and the desolate terrain. So this could be something very associated with the attack of the droids on the Night Sisters, which is told in a couple different manners throughout different things. Tales of the Empire actually tells a pretty interesting section of this in the point of view of Morgan Elspeth. Battle droids. Don't know what it's going to do, but they're battle droids. There's going to be a lot of those in this set. Speaking of a lot of those in this set, we have here 2 clone troopers being guided by a local guide. This is a little Twi'lek girl. This could be Ryloth. That would be very interesting to see. But we have here the phase 1 troopers. So this is before midway point of the Clone Wars, when they started changing the pattern of the armor. Love phase 1 myself. Phase 2 is not as cool, but you know, they're still clones, and I love clones, and that's always cool. Very interesting picture here. Very well done. Very nice. The picture art piece that's going to be a card that I'm very excited about here is this one. This is Satine Kryze, the Duchess of Mandalore, notably the sister of Bo-Katan and love interest to one Obi-Wan Kenobi. Very cool art here. Happy to see this character. Hopefully she does have the Mandalorian keyword. She should, trait, but you never know what they do with these types of characters. I do also hope that potentially there are going to be more Mandalorians in this set. Doesn't have to be a huge amount, but if you can supplement some of the vigilance and aggression strategies, or maybe even throw a bunch into command, so that way you can mix them with that Sundari Peacekeeper, it would be pretty cool to see what they're going to do going forward. And there's a lot of options that they have available to them. Most of the Mandalorians that we saw that appeared in set 2 Shadows of the Galaxy were rebels and the Mandalorian representatives, but very few from the Clone Wars, and specifically the Siege of Mandalore, or the couple episode arc that dealt with the Death Watch on Mandalore and Maul's takeover of Mandalore itself after the incident with Pre Vizsla. I'm excited for this. I have no idea what she's going to do, but I'm definitely going to try to grab at least the hyperspace version of her, because again, this art is absolutely incredible. Just a fantastic job by the artists. They get better and better as the sets go on. Just beautiful artwork, and I'm very happy to see all of these here. Twilight of the Republic, it's gonna be a banger. And there we have it. That's all we've got today. Small amount of previews, small amount of art. We're trucking along towards getting to preview season, which is still a few months away. The release of the set isn't until November. I would say preview season probably starts about midway through September. So hopefully by the time I get back from doing the things that I need to do, we've got some more awesome previews to go through. They'll leak some things out. They'll probably start leader previews beforehand, just like they did with Shadows and just like they did with Spark of the Rebellion. So that's all we have. This is the way we'll be on Thursday this week, this video being released on Tuesday. So you will still get that. I just wanted to make sure this was set up in the time slot. That is now going to be what my card preview stuff is going to be done, card preview coverage as it is. So Tuesdays for that, and then any other videos will come out on other days of the week. If I don't have a preview video or something Regroup Phase to talk about, that's when we'll drop this. Lots of information that y'all don't care about. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to like and comment on the video. Subscribe to this lovely Star Wars Unlimited channel for all of your Star Wars Unlimited needs. Twilight of the Republic. It's going to be really cool. More clones, more clones, more clones, more clones. I will see you in the stars.